Hello again everybody, I hope you're all keeping well. It's now the end of July already, can you believe it? I can't believe this summer has gone so fast. It's been a while since I've done a full plot tour, but I'm going to do one today. Did a polytunnel tour last week, just going over how things are going in there. And to be honest, overall things are very mixed. There's some good things and there's some bad things which really aren't doing well at all, but I'll show you those in a moment. And I think a lot of it's due to the fact that we've had a lot of very rubbish weather over the last few weeks. In fact, last weekend it rained for 2 days straight, and apparently we had 1 month's rain in a 24-hour period. We had quite a lot of flooding around this area, rivers overflowing and things like that. The allotment was like Shrek's swamp, and I couldn't really get down here. I didn't come down here all weekend. It's just so wet. And yes, the wet weather has caused a lot of problems for us. And there has been a mishap in the polytunnel. And no, I'm not talking about last week when I fell through the chair that I was sitting on. Oh no! And actually ripped through the chair. No, I'm talking about something else, but I'll show you that in a moment. So let's get right into the July allotment tour. I do hope you enjoy. So our attempt at making a nice display of cornflowers up here has been successful this year. These are quite nice display of these lovely blue cornflowers up here as our wildflower patch. And we have some borage, some more wildflowers here, lovely blue flowers. Can you guess what my favourite colour is? Yes, and our gladiolus are coming through as well. We've got a few of those along here as well. The phlox is now out in full bloom with its lovely violet flowers. Really nice display at the front of the plot there. Our foxgloves here are finished. Got a few of these snapdragons along the front. Not really doing too much though, to be honest. Yeah, not really doing too much. They are quite leggy, to be honest, so they've not been that successful. But the sweet peas right above it have been very successful. So successful, in fact, that I've not been able to pick them fast enough. I've been picking these now for the last 2 months. And yeah, they're actually, the tops just started to flop over, so I'm going to have to tie these in again. In fact, after this video, I'm going to pick some more for the other half. She really likes sweet peas. Lovely fragrance. So these have done really well this year. I'm very happy with these. And yeah, there's more along this side here. Just a huge display of them. So they've done really nice. So right next to that, there's some sunflowers, which I need to actually stake. To be honest, I've staked that one there, but one of them has been chopped in half by something there. Probably the horrible windy weather we had the other day. There's actually a black sunflower there. How interesting is that? Look at that. Unusual colours. There's some standard ones. So we have a few sunflowers along here. A couple of dahlias got gifted to me. Here, to be honest, they've not done that much. Yeah, just, you know, some nice couple of flowers there, but not too much from them, to be honest. Our single seed challenge giant pumpkin has gone absolutely crazy. It is sprawled all the way around here, and it's actually going all the way over there, so I do need to sort this out. The nasturtiums over there, which self-seeded themselves, I just tend to leave them, to be honest. We've got a couple of pumpkins on there. I think I'm gonna thin them down to one. There's one over there, and there's one there. So yeah, we'll see how they do. Oh, there's actually another one down there. There's quite a few of them. So that's our giant pumpkin. Right over here in this pot filled with horse manure, we have some ornamental gourds. A few different varieties there, some different colours and shapes. I can't actually get in there, it's a little bit of a jungle. But yes, we have some apples here. Really nice red apples over there. They should be ready to pick pretty soon. They're looking nice and red and plump. Plums, maybe we might have a few of those. Maybe, no, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. I'm getting nibbled by everything. Our horse manure pile here, which we piled horse manure and homemade compost on. Just piled loads of it on here. And we planted some pumpkins and some butternut squash in here. And for once, we're actually getting some growth on the butternut squash plants. I mean, I'm only talking about tiny little squashes for the time being, nothing crazy. But the plants are growing more than they usually do. The pumpkin plant is just trailing down there. So yeah, you know, there is some growth here, so that's always good. Me and my plot neighbour did this fence up here last week. Because the fence before it was literally just a bit of flimsy chicken wire, and that was that. So that needed replacing. So this part of the plot does look a bit better now, I think. We have our two courgette plants in this raised bed here. This was originally our asparagus beds, or one of the asparagus beds. There's one here, and this was the other one, but the asparagus didn't really work in this one. So we've just planted courgettes in here, and these have been giving us courgettes for quite a while already. Really good continuous supply of them just off these two plants. It's been really good. We have carrots here, which surprisingly haven't been eaten away, haven't been attacked by the root fly yet. Fingers crossed that we get some decent carrots, because we don't usually have much luck with carrots, so we'll see. Maybe this year will be the year for carrots. Our actual asparagus bed, yeah, just growing really well. Nothing else to report on that. Yeah, that is what it is. Now, last week we picked all our onions from these beds here, and it was quite a good harvest. Our seed onions did pretty well. There was a lot of mildew on them. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to have gone into the bulb itself, so I think they're alright. There were a few onions with white rot on, only around a dozen of them, which we had to discard. But mostly they're okay. I'm just hoping that they don't rot in storage. That would be a disaster. So yeah, the onions have done really well. Quite a success this year. Over here we have our runner beans. Quite a lot of runner beans. In fact, I'm struggling to pick these. There's just that many of them. I think a lot of these pods are going to just be next year's seed, to be honest, like this one here. This will just be next year's seed. So yeah, I've even started freezing them now. I think I've just grown too many, to be honest. But I think all gardeners at some point grow too much and get a bit carried away. On the other side of this support, we have some Bluehilled purple podded beans. These are really nice. I've not picked any of these yet. I'm waiting for them to swell up, and we're going to eat the beans from inside them because they're really nice. Almost like an alternative to haricot beans. Quite nice, those. A little further along, we have these French climbing beans, Blue Lake, all the way up along here. Now, yes, I think this year I prefer the French climbing beans. I think these seem to taste better than the runner beans, to be honest. So I might grow more of these next year. They're really tasty. So beans are a success this year. I'm trying to think if there's anything else around here. There is some spinach up here, which, to be honest, has started bolting, and it's been absolutely ravaged by the slugs. And I kind of get a bit put off when slugs attack everything, to be honest. And because of the wet weather we've had, the slugs have just had a party. Like, this was an onion bed, and I did plant some dwarf French beans in here, but the slugs have just gone to town on them. So I've actually direct sown some more because the other ones just got ravaged. So yeah, we'll see how they do. Now, yesterday I harvested all of our main crop potatoes, which is what my latest video is about, actually, harvesting all of these. Now, I think I'm going to reuse these containers, or at least some of them, and plant some potatoes in here for Christmas. See if we can get some potatoes for Christmas time. Rather than just letting this area go fallow and leaving all these to go to waste. Because I think, if I were to add some bloodfish and bone or something, or to try and replenish this soil, I could get away with another crop of potatoes, I think. So down the middle, this was our elephant garlic bed. Nothing going on in there at the moment, that's just empty. Herb bed, yeah, it's just gone a bit crazy. I'm going to take these out and turn it into an annual herb bed. And our Kale Crazy 2023. The Kale plants are doing pretty nicely, although I am going to have to extend this netting higher because they are reaching the top of the netting now. As you can see, they're almost at the top, but they're growing pretty well. Now, directly opposite that, we have our normal sprouts. To be honest, they're doing all right. They're doing all right. I suspect that they've still got quite a lot of growth to put on yet. They're only around about 2 feet tall, to be honest. But it is only July. It is early days. But they're growing fine. They seem pretty happy in this bed here. And we've got some more squash over here as well, actually, in this pure horse manure bed here. We've got some tromboncino squashes here with some nice little squashes on them. I feel like horse manure is the answer for growing pumpkins and squash. You always seem to just go crazy in it, and this is just a butternut squash plant here. So yeah, this one's growing pretty tall here, this one. As it is always every single year, our strawberries have been a success. We had a lot of strawberries this year. Obviously, they've now finished. Yeah, we had a lot of them. I froze a lot of them, and I'm still eating them now. I've got about 10 litres of storage containers in the freezer full. So we've still got a lot of strawberries to get through. Now, this big bed over here is our brassica bed, and yeah, as you can see there, they've been attacked by these slugs quite badly. Yeah, I don't even go inside that. I'll cut that open and there'll just be slugs in there. I think I'm gonna try and pick some of these soon because they are a decent size. There are some nice ones. It is a shame about the slugs, though. But it has been very, very wet. We have some kale here. Really nice kale. I'm going to pick some of that, I think, now, actually. There. And we also have over here our broccoli, which we've picked most of now, actually. But they are sending out these side shoots, these little tender stem side shoots here, which I'm going to pick off as well. So that's the good thing about calabrese. Once you pick the main head off, it will send out these tender stem shoots for weeks afterwards. So you get 2 crops in one, really. Now, as I mentioned in a video last week, this leek bed hasn't done too great, and the leaks in it, a lot of them have bolted. I've pulled them out now, them bolted ones, and I'm hoping that, you know, some of these do thicken up a little bit. Some of them are, you know, we can pull some of these out now if we want to, you know, as baby leeks. I'm going to leave them in, see how they do. I think the thing this year, I just started them too early, you see, and a lot of these leeks think they're in their second year of growth. Opposite the leek bed, we have our sweet corn, which has now sent out tassels with pollen on them, with ears at the bottom here. Make sure you shake your tassels, guys, get the pollen off onto them ears below to get them pollinated. That's what I've been doing for the past couple of days. We actually used socks to protect the corn cobs last year to stop the birds and the mice from getting them, and it seemed to have worked really, really well. Now, this particular, well, there's actually a couple of them that don't have any ears on the bottom of them. How strange is that? It sent out tassel, but there's no corn on the stem. How strange. I wonder why that is. It's on a few of them actually. I wonder what's going on there. It's these ones here that don't have any, these two rows, but the rest of them do. What's going on there, guys? Can you explain what might be happening here? It literally is these two rows. These two rows here don't have any tassels on, but all the rest of them here do. Some of them, quite a lot of them don't actually, you know. I don't know if our sweet corn is doing that great actually, guys, you know. Quite a few of these plants don't have tassels on them. There's no visible signs of any really anywhere, to be honest. Yeah, we'll see. We might get some harvest, I suppose. Okay, so I know I did a tour of the polytunnels in a video last week, but it feels like things are changing by the day, to be honest. So we'll come in here again, and it's an absolute massacre, really, to be honest. The last couple of days